Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. How are you doing today? You find me at the Mindful Cabin, also the, what do they call it? Airfield Vista? One of the vistas, which label has now gone, given that I'm here. And it's probably one of the best views in the game, to be honest, when the weather's right, in my limited opinion. So, quick recap. Yesterday, we came from all the way over there, which doesn't look very far, but distances in this game take a while to traverse, especially when you're overladen and dragging a heavy travoy, I suppose, and worried about wolves and bears, which I was. But the weather, remarkably for Forsaken Airfield, cooperated, which was very nice of it. And what we're going to do today, after Mackenzie has had a good night's sleep in the rather rude bed that's up here, is try and see whether this place is long-term survivable. And I have a horrible suspicion that it isn't, really. Wouldn't mind if we got an aurora, actually. Spot lights that might mark interesting places to go. Because from way over there, I did spot lights in this region, except that they weren't from the island over there, and I don't think they are from this place either, because neither one of them has any electricity. So we'll see. So hopefully this will dispel any ideas that I'm not prepared to do any exploring. I'm quite willing to, I just want to be able to survive when I get there, and not get caught out in the blizzard for 3 days. Right, let's put Mackenzie to bed and pick up some food. And why am I looking at that? I don't know. Good job we brought provisions with us, because this place has had so far very little to offer. I think the map does in fact show... Yeah, that's inaccessible. I say it's inaccessible. No, that's a rabbit grove, but to get there, I've pretty much got to go all the way back round. I'm not sure if I can actually get down going this way. We'll see. But this is, I think, pretty much the border here, and so the logical thing to do possibly next might be to come down this way. Right. Ooh. The sun's in the wrong direction to make this a truly wonderful view, but that's still rather nice, isn't it? At least I think so. And the weather's calm and not blowing for a while, which probably means I'll wake up to a howling blizzard. And the fog's moving in. Yep. Right. Betty buys. And I should make some water at some point. I do have water. Oh! Because all this stuff that's curing is going to be completely useless to me, because guess what? There isn't a workbench here. Oops. Be a good idea if I actually ate something. And I appear to have picked the two smallest pieces of meat that were in my pack. Which means I'm actually going to pop outside again to get some more. How's everybody's day going? I hope it's all going well. Did I say that already? Oh, let's grab that. Okay, here we go. And while he sleeps, I'm trying to wake up. I am quite amazed, to be honest, that the weather hasn't decided to dogpile me while I'm here. Fortunately, everything behaved today. Restream got its scheduling right. YouTube seems to have sent out notifications. It's always nice when that happens. I'm amazed. Mind you, this could be one of those locations where you can't hear the wind, but no, it appears that that is not the case. We have another nice day. Although I guarantee it will be freezing outside. Oh, it's not too bad. What's happened with this place? I am so not used to this happening. Look at that. I'm actually standing outside, high up, early morning, and I'm warming up. Good heavens. Oh. I'm not even hugely overweight. Why am I carrying arrow shafts? Don't need to be carrying those. Let's see, that's cured, that's cured. I've got gut for days. That needs fixing. Might as well. Oh, it's just starting to get a bit chilly. Yeah. And this is why I need ptarmigan every so often. I need to remember, though, that I need to hang on to some of that when I get back eventually to Coastal Highway, because I need it. How's everything else doing? Yeah, this is... everything is so far so good. We are nicely prepared for the day, it seems. Everything up to and including bear maulings. Alright. Let's grab some stuff. Here's my water. And that's why I have So much water there. Oh, excuse me. I've been commenting that I really need to apply a noise gate to this, but it turns out that's not what I want. Noise gate, it seems, deals with the lower end of the audio spectrum. And what I need to do apparently is called ducking. And that is ducking with a D, as in feathered waterbird. Well, oh, did I remember? Oh. Let's go grab some charcoal so I can do some constructive mapping. And so I need to do some experimentation with ducking. Right, now that I am once again better prepared, let's have a wee look. I had a quick look around to my over that way yesterday when I got here, and I wasn't encouraged. Don't think there was even any. Yeah, there isn't even any. Even though there's a sort of shallow pond, there's no cattails there, so no emergency food. Doesn't seem to be a high likelihood of acorns either. Although amusingly, I have found flour, which and oil. So I've got the possibility of doing a spot of cooking. It's actually sort of pleasant here, so far. Because now that I've said that, I'll probably end up in the middle of the most horrendous blizzard I've ever seen. Oh, there's plenty of firewood. So I'll be able to restock that, I hope. So far, it doesn't look like I'm going to be doing any seriously productive cooking in this region. Good morning, Pseudo. How are you doing today? Oh, well, my day's only just gotten started. I accidentally slept in. It was, I only woke up just over an hour ago. Ah! That sounds like ptarmigan. Yes, it is. There's ptarmigan. How about that? Be very, very quiet. We are hunting ptarmigan. I have to admit, falling asleep to Warframe is not typical. Well, as ptarmigan hunts go, that was...
All this gear is slowing me down.
That was pretty good, if I say so myself. 4 out of 5. All I need now is some fat, which I don't have. I really should have put some fat on there. No, I've got fat, I've got oil. Yeah, okay, maybe I'm good. Did I actually... I did not. Ptarmigan nests typically show up, which is what I want to indicate there. A little excessive, shooting them with regular arrows, but honestly, I have enough bits and pieces that I haven't really felt the need to use fire-hardened arrows. And I have a suspicion, although I can't prove it, that the fire-hardened arrows aren't as accurate. Now, the primary reason for getting ptarmigan actually isn't the meat, although that I will use. It's the feathers. So I can do down-filled stuff. Right. Let's grab some firewood. There's the... There's the weather we know and love. Possibly coming in. Having said that Warframe isn't the typical content to fall asleep to, I'm pretty certain I've put poor people to sleep while I've been streaming, so it's all good. Actually, I'm kind of flattered. Let's see. Food. Food is a good thing. Alright, let's see if I can make broth. I should be able to make... I think it's ptarmigan pie. How can he be so overladen so quickly? Oh, yeah, yeah. The fact that I picked up a bunch of firewood probably explains it. Alright, so, for certain resources, this has been alright. There was the 2 maple sticks, which is always nice to have. Bunch of feathers. That's always good to have. You don't exactly march through ptarmigan down, but if you've got things to repair, like the insulation I'm wearing, like the down-filled bedroll that I'm carrying, yeah, you do march through it a bit. That looks cold. For some strange reason, I mean, I know we've been in mountains the whole time, but you know, you look up there, and I'm suddenly reminded of I can't remember which movie or movies it is. It seems to involve struggling through high mountains like that. In Canada / Alaska. What was the one with oh grief. Ah, Charles Bronson, where he basically is escaping through the Canadian / I think it was Canadian wilderness, wasn't it? And I just realised, I can't remember what the name of the movie is. His running away, which was triggered by a firefight with locals, and in very John Wick style, it was triggered because of a dog. I've always thought it amusing. Not that John Wick was kind of triggered by the killing of his dog, which I think is perfectly understandable. It's that the rest of the world seems to agree. Slaughters his way through all movies so far, all triggered because of the death of his dog, and everyone's like, yeah, that's perfectly reasonable, don't have any problem with that. Or at least that's the case in the circles online that I run in. Yeah, okay. We have the... Oh, do you know what? I'm going to do my butchery while sitting on the porch looking at the snow gently falling down. Yeah, why not? Do I want to harvest it with a hacksaw? Oh, wow. Okay, I forgot how long it takes to do that. We shall lighten his load by dropping off the firewood. Why is it still 50 kilograms? Well, I suppose that's a reason. I didn't think ptarmigan were that heavy, frankly. But still. And I do have the flour. It's just not there. And there's the oil.
I could make something with this.
This is where I'm sticking temporarily important stuff. All I've got to do... Oh, yes, I found mucklucks, which turn out not to be good as the deerskin things I'm wearing, but they are lighter, so... Right. Let's get on with this. So what's the betting that we're about to have a blizzard out there? Yeah, it was kind of funny. I remember when I was very irritated by my complete failure to hunt ptarmigan. It becomes a lot easier when you can crouch. What is it that I can actually cook with this? No. Let's see. Ptarmigan stew. And I don't have broth, but that's okay. I can fix that. Oh, I don't have salt. Drat. I need salt, don't I? No, I need salt for broth, and I don't have salt with me. Drat. Bother. Yeah. I didn't miss any salt while I was looking around here, did I? Yeah. And all my current salt is in.
This gear's starting to slow me down.
Oh well. Just gonna have to eat them the old-fashioned way. Think that should allow me to think that might just survive until oh no, you know what, I'll just do this the old-fashioned way.
Feels like a lot of gear.
Okay, so I need that for about another hour and a half tops. Ooh, is that long enough? It's going to be close. I think it takes about an hour and a half, doesn't it? Let's find out. 42. Oh, yes, that would have been fine. That's good. Right. Started getting my water supplies back up. And yep. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm hoping for an aurora, aren't I? And there we go. There's the sound I was waiting for. I was hoping for aurora. Every time I say that, I kind of half expect to see the Norwegian singer show up in the game. I know she's not going to. Worth listening to, by the way. She's, in my head, most famous for being in Sky Children of the Light. They actually have a recorded concert you can go to in the game, which is pretty good, to be honest. And I have a recording of that on my channel, if anyone's interested. And no, I don't comment through it. So you can just listen to the music. And I did check. Basically, yes, I can use it. Could live stream the concert. The worst that would happen would be that video would be demonetized, which is not exactly a huge problem for me. But the copyright does allow it to be used on YouTube, so I'm good to go. It's kind of interesting. I would gesture at that screen as if to say, that's my channel. No, it's just that I happen to have my channel dashboard up over there, so it's part of my right-hand field of view. Yep. Let's... Oh, that's cured. Can't do anything with it, but it's cured. Yes. Oh, I feel so much better now. Forsaken Airfield is treating me in the manner to which I have become accustomed. Freezing cold, blizzard, wind, horrible. And yeah, I do have more food, so... Actually, not as much as you might think. Alright, so... let me just have a quick double check around, make sure that I didn't miss something in the nooks and crannies. No, it's not a huge amount of water. Because you know what this game is like. It's always entirely possible to find something in the nooks and crannies that you have not previously seen. But I'm not massively hopeful, to be honest. Mental note to self, bring salt with me. Just one of those little jars that it comes in, quarter kilo. More or less half a pound. Well, okay. For the pedantic among us, I know 0.25 of a kilo is not technically half a pound, is it? It's a bit more than half a pound. 2.2 pounds to the kilogram, so you figure it out. A bit less than half a pound, actually. Wait a second. Yes, it's a bit less than half a pound. I apologise. What is it? 0.44 of a pound? Right, let's, Oh, whoops. Yeah, it helps if I get that right. Oh, that's 3 hours gone by of the day. Oh, hello. Hey, little nugget. How are you doing? At least I saw you say hello today. Last night it was 10 minutes late. And that's the thing about this game. I can actually pay more attention to chat. It's much harder to do when you're in the middle of a 15-minute long battle. And you're just at the edge of my visual acuity there, so sometimes I notice and sometimes I don't. Oh, that's a good thing. Did you catch me passing on Anna's hopes that everything resolves itself in the manner that you would wish? Ah, yes. Anna asked me to pass on a message.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
You're joking.
Come on.
How did I fail to... Okay, I was going to say, how did I fail to start a fire? I've only got an 85% chance.
Come on. Come on.
Yes, yeah, that's what you said yesterday, and that's what my own minimal ability at using Bing suggested. Yep, that's my best guess. Turned out nice. And the reason I do this is, for some strange reason, I like having 9 kilos of water in there. Yeah. Yes, no, because, yeah, it's a moderately well-known tactic. Just the threat is... If you can't afford a lawyer, then it might conceivably be easier for some people to simply say, throw up their hands and give in. It's a bullying tactic, which doesn't speak well of the person doing the bullying. So here we are, sitting out on my deck, standing, and eating freshly cooked ptarmigan. Oh, no, I quite understand. You are in a position to... Is that a wolf? That sounded like a wolf. to me. Yeah, let's go. We got food, we got water cooking, I've got water on me. Yes, enough for a quick trip out. Hey, Corey. Yes, I've had that happen. Um, if I suddenly died in this run, I would be quite irritated. I'm approaching 500 days in, and morning, Tony. And yes, I would be a little perturbed if I suddenly were to die in this. Although, you know, I've come close. I suspect what I would do in that event. I used to say that if I died in this game, I would start an interloper run. Well, I have attempted on stream at least 6 interloper runs. So what I would probably do if I died in this game is continue my stalker run. Interloper is really, really difficult. That is profound. I find interloper profoundly frustrating. I can certainly see if you got lucky and you found some matches or a fire striker, some way to consistently make fire so you can explore and get resources, then yeah, interloper is probably quite survivable. But I can't even get... I can't find matches. Oh no, it's not. Corey, there are people who watch this channel who have thousands of play hours in the game, so no. The current record, and I'm not sure what difficulty level it was, I think it was actually interloper, is 11,000 days. So so no, nearly 500 days in game is I'm basically still beginner level, especially on Voyager, which is this difficulty level. This is relatively easy. It does offer you opportunities to die, certainly. I mean, I've taken permanent frostbite damage. You know, you can still, if you make exactly the wrong mistake in this at this difficulty level. Did I get a trim? And what makes you say that? Yes, I went to the barber's at the weekend. My son and I both went to the barber's. Actually, do you know what? I don't want to be on the road, I want to be on the other side. Oh, now there's a wolf. Thought I could hear wolves. Oh yes, and a shave. A proper blade shave. Yeah. I do need to shave again. Yeah. I always think of a visit to the barber as not only being a necessity, it's a way of indulging yourself. Yep, I'm pretty certain that's a wolf. Okay. I know. I say pretty certain that's a wolf. Of course that's a wolf. I know what a wolf looks like in the game. No, what I mean is howling over there. What I found interesting about playing Wintermute is that you can eat the wolves. I was slightly surprised it didn't give you parasites. But you'll notice that one thing that I would like to see isn't here. There's a wolf, but there's no deer. Don't worry, I don't intend to start a fight. I do, yes. Yes. I was about to say something really stupid, like I picked up 201 subscribers right after I'd picked up 200. That's right up there with the dumbest comments I have ever made during a live stream. Yeah, it does seem that the edge of the map in this is largely devoid. This is a sort of pattern I've seen before. If we go all the way back to this region here, in this region here you have rabbits, I can't remember ptarmigan, and one wolf. There's no deer that I could find there. There's nothing coming in this way from the transfer pass all the way down here. There seems to be nothing but rabbits, and not a huge number, but because you can't survive on the rabbit population very long. So far around the edges, the far edges, there's not a huge amount. Even Drift Island, there's a wolf here, and there's nothing on the island except a few ptarmigan and rabbits. If you want deer in this area, you have to go there. If you want bear, you have to go there. But yeah, the edges of the map do not appear to be well stocked with anything. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why I bothered doing that. Good morning, Nika Brika. How are you doing today? I don't really want to bother the wolf. It's not doing anything to me at the moment. Well, I'm awake and streaming, so that's a good start to the day. And I accidentally nearly did another 3-hour live stream, which is exhausting, and I accidentally nearly did another one yesterday for Warframe. And you may think, how do you accidentally do that? Well, I got into a mission, one of the Rift missions, and everybody just kept continuing the mission, so you know. So yeah. So I went on far longer than originally anticipated. Did I say Warstream or Warframe? Now maybe I just invented a new word. What's a Warstream? It's a live stream of Warframe. Hey! Yeah. These parts of the maps are, and I know I've said it before and I'm repeating myself, creepy. It's dead silent. There's nothing around except for the wolf over there and a bunch of dead ptarmigan behind me. You would be hard pressed to survive here unless you're willing. I haven't checked down there yet, but just getting round from here down to there, there is a rope climb, but I don't have a rope, and a rope climb limits you into how much you can carry. So, but yeah, these parts of the map are eerie. Oh. And I will pick up some more firewood.
Feels like night is coming.
Yes, that seems to be an accurate assessment. Ooh, bother. I just made a bit of a mistake. That was a mistake and a half. I can barely see. I'm just hoping if I go this way, I should just about be able to see the road. You know what? That's funny. I was actually on the road, I think. Actually, I started to get concerned that I would end up falling off something because... hang on. Am I even heading the right way? I think so. Oh, yes, I am. It did. It got very dark. Right. And unfortunately, I can't do anything with this, so I know what I'm going to do. We're going to pitch this off the edge. There. Let's see it down there. Where's the... Where's the stove? There we go. Now, technically, I could probably have survived that. Because I just picked up firewood and I had food and water on me, so I could probably have gotten through the night. Probably. If I could have found a sheltered spot. And if things didn't go completely pear-shaped. When things go pear-shaped is when things get awkward. Right. So, I have been streaming for an hour, which means my bladder needs attention. So I will leave you with the brand new intermission, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes. And I'm back. I'm ridiculously pleased that I managed to put intros, intermissions, and outros together for 2 of my games. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner, because it's actually quite easy. Bit of a pain in the neck, but for the technically minded, what you do, or what I've done, is I have different scenes on OBS and a key combination to allow me to switch between one scene and the next. That's how you do it. What I didn't realize was in those scenes you could put that text up. I had actually rendered the video with the text, and rendering is not exactly quick, and it takes up quite a bit of space on your hard drive. I saved myself 6 gigabytes yesterday because I suddenly realized I could use the same video background for each of the intro, intermission, outro, and just change the text. It took me a week to realize that. So, what was I doing? Sleeping. So there you go. If you ever want to get into streaming yourselves, that's something to know. We don't have an aurora, no. And I need more water. I won't be sleeping for 4 hours. And I have made a cardinal mistake. I have not made enough water. I am going to have to hope for a sufficiently now I actually want a blizzard, so I have an excuse to what was I thinking? Stay in and spend the day cooking water up. But now we're on to our dried meat and the cured meat. 900 calories or 0.25 of a kilogram. That is a really, really good food source. So, let's not make the same mistake I did yesterday. I mean, yesterday in the game, not yesterday in real life. Now, I'll tell you what about OBS. I am amazed that OBS is a free package. I mean, honestly, having used it for nearly a year now, it's if they charged for it, I would probably pay. Oh, great. We have glimmer fog coming in. And glimmer fog means, well, fog. So, and insomnia. But it's early enough, I think I can. Oh, I hope I don't regret this. This is okay weather to be hunting deer in. Wouldn't want to go hunting bear in this. But I've got my excuse to cook up water, so that's what we're going to do. I will spend the day doing that, I guess. Oh, the other good thing is the dried meat doesn't make you stinky. Or at least not easily. I don't think it makes you smell at all. Right, okay, so I definitely do need to get my water going. If you're in any doubt about what to do in the game, make water. Because you never know.
I'm exhausted, but I just can't.
Yeah, this is the downside to doing a fog, of course. Water is melting snow and boiling
Weigh me
it.
down.
It's not realistic, but it's understandable. A pot of snow, even if you packed it down, wouldn't give you much water. I mean, it's better than nothing, but snow is mostly not water. It's actually mostly air. So really, if you're melting down snow for water, you would end up spending a ridiculous amount of time constantly adding snow back in, then putting more snow in, and then more snow in, and keep going until you get a reasonable quantity. The other thing that they don't show here is that if you're boiling water to make it safe, it's not enough to bring it to a boil. You have to bring it to a rolling boil for 10 minutes at least. And what is interesting is in Hong Kong, and my second ex-wife was from Hong Kong and she still does this. What they tend to do in the restaurants is they give, if you ask for water, they give you water that's been boiled, but I'm pretty certain all they've done is basically bring it to a boil and then say that's good enough. It probably is, but if you're out in the wilds, yeah, it's 10 minutes of a rolling boil. I mean, basically full-blown bubbles, not just to simmer. You want maximum heat going into that water to kill off any pathogens that might be in it. But you know, this is a game. They say it's not a survival simulation. Right, so that should give me... Yeah, I think I've just made enough water to last me for a while. So what I can do is replace the stuff in the travois so that I don't have to do this later. Yeah, that's more than enough. Actually, yeah, that's more than enough. I feel a little off about that. Actually, let's there you go. 10 litres of water is a nice round number. And where do I want to put water? By the fire or by the bed? What I find amusing is some people I've seen on who played along that they carefully line up their water bottles. Don't blame them. I'm messy. But, I don't really feel like spending forever carefully aligning all my water bottles in a row. What am I doing? I am dropping water. Yeah. There we go. I was watching, who was it? Whispers in the Snow. She's a new-ish live streamer, content maker, and that's what I saw her doing. Carefully had lined up her water. I mean, it looks a heck of a lot better than the way I do it. Just dump the stuff somewhere and then try and find it in the dark. And here is the downside to the insomnia. You just basically repeatedly do this throughout the night. So there we go, 476 days. You do get an achievement for 500, which I kind of would like to get. Oh! That was unexpected. Oh, there's an aurora! And that's what I wanted. I wanted the aurora. Wow, it sounds horrible out there. And the reason I wanted the aurora was to see if there's any lights I can see. Now, obviously, that's the road and the airfield that we're looking at over there. But there's a bit of a mystery here. When I last came from the airfield to Drift Island, I stopped here for the night and ended up staying, was it 1 or 2 nights, because a blizzard rolled in and there was an aurora, and so I could look out and there were lights in the distance. Now I thought that this float plane was one source of those lights, but it doesn't seem to have been. And it seems that somewhere over here, there's something that was showing up lights, although I don't see anything on the map. The other direction was over this way, I think. And I don't see what those were either, so I don't know whether that was actual lights in the distance or some artifact of the graphics. I got very lucky when I was putting together the when I was putting together the intro video, or the video that I use in the background for intros and intermissions and what have you, you may notice it's at night and there's an aurora through the window, if I stream it long enough. And I found that out by accident. If you're on the title screen, which is what that video is, it has a day-night cycle, and that includes eventually an aurora. And I found that out when I was putting together the video for the soundtrack. And I had the title screen, and I literally recorded the title screen for about 3 hours, and towards the end of that you could see the aurora. Which I did not know was possible. I do like that title screen, but I can't imagine anybody's going to just leave it on their computer for several hours until they see the complete change in weather. But wow, that is actually pretty... That's quite pretty. I mean, the aurora is always pretty, to be honest, but this is, as I've said, one of the best views I've seen in the game. So that's quite something. Not even that cold. Yeah. But I wouldn't want to go wandering through the woods at this point. The woods may be lovely, dark and deep, and I might have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep, but that doesn't apply to the long dark. Hey Danny, how are you doing? Just standing on my deck, looking at the aurora. I just had a thought. I should probably... It would be funny if I recorded this and then put the Aurora concert music to it. I might actually do that at some point. That would be kind of amusing. I'm not sure that fans of Sky would necessarily appreciate it. But now that I've said that, I'm going to have to try and do it at some point. I think I can separate the music. Yes, I can. I can separate the music from the concert. And in case anybody's wondering, the copyright associated with the Aurora's music in Sky is such that you can use it on YouTube. So that I have now got myself a project. What I just need is a complete night in the game to capture this and then put it to music. That would actually, I think that would be kind of cool. Actually, I could extract the individual songs. Yeah, sorry, I'm talking to myself. That's definitely something I should try. And the other thing, of course, I was looking for is a generic video that I can use for games other than the Long Dark. And this might work. I mean, look at that. That is Wow. That's one of the best auroras I think I've seen in the game. Okay, so at some point during a live stream, you may find me sitting here talking for 20 minutes while I just record scenes like this, just to get the video. And I wouldn't want to have to move, I'd have to do it hands off and just leave it like that and talk at you while I did it. Yeah, that's an interesting thought. I was looking for ideas for a generic video for other live streams, and this might work. Just that. Of course, now I've got to arrange it and put the work in. Which is the problem when you have artistic ideas. Artistic ideas generally take a while to implement. Especially for someone like me, who is, let's be honest, about as artistic as a thorough kick in the head. So, I've got my task for the day. Try and get some nighttime. So for the first time, and everything I've done in this game has been live streamed. But for the first time, I might actually do some gameplay off camera just to capture that view in the middle of the aurora. Might have to do that. And hopefully do it today, as a matter of fact. I wonder if anybody would complain too much that I mixed genres. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Of course, with my luck, I'll set out. So just to assure everybody, if I were to do that recording, I wouldn't do anything else. I wouldn't actually engage in any particular life-changing activities within the game. So, it might be a couple of a couple of in-game days later, but I won't have gone hunting. I won't have done anything except maybe make water. But it's the only way I got of recording that particular scene is to actually do it off camera. So you won't miss anything, though, I promise. Oh, I hate saying that. It is not my intent that you'll miss anything particularly significant. And if anything significant happens, I obviously will tell you all about it. Probably in great and excruciating detail. But now I've got my little brain quite intrigued by the possibility. Yeah, because the funny thing about Aurora's concert in Sky, it's not a funny thing, is that the music, I think it's only 4 songs, maybe 5 tops. And I think that's less. I think it's only about a half or 2/3 of the entire concert. And the entire concert's 48 minutes, 50 minutes, and the rest of it is fluff, if you like, Aurora and this kind of thing. So actually, I might be able to match up everything quite nicely. We'll see. And I probably just bored everybody to death. If you're not playing Sky Children of the Light and you enjoy a nice, calming, cozy game, it is mostly calm, mostly cozy, with the odd moment of abject terror. Yeah, it's well worth the experience, in my considered opinion. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere in this. This will freeze me. Well, actually, it's not that cold. I just don't like the visibility. And I don't like the fact that it's probably just going to get worse. So... yeah. This is always the problem, what to do in weather like this. The simple answer is you make water. That's the typical thing. Ah, but the good news is, if this is a genuine blizzard, there should be more firewood afterwards. Alright, the other thing I need to do is to see how much food I actually have. Okay, I've got 16, 17, 18. That probably will last me 3 or 4 days. Before which, I need to get somewhere where I can do some serious hunting. And this, all the way here, so essentially between, I'll show you on the map. So during yesterday's live stream, I came from here, which was, as most of you probably know, where I was staying. Came down all the way round, followed the lake, avoided the wolves, came across here, looped up around to there. Didn't see any large game, by which I mean deer or moose or bear, the entire way. Since then, I have obviously walked all around this section here. No large game. Ptarmigan is not good for more than a day, if you're prepared to starve through the day. So, yeah, this is not proving to be a viable long-term residence. This is much better because, like I say, hunting the bear here is easy. Stand on the float plane, shoot the bear, bingo, you've got food for days. There's deer that spawn in there, so you've got easy access, especially if you have the travois, but even without it you could do it. But as you can see, we have a lot more of the map to look at. I don't know whether I'm actually going to bother doing the whole thing, but seeing as I'm sort of making my way round, I mean, if I actually run out of food, I've got some stashed over there, so I could easily head back. Yeah, my concern in this region is the bear. There's a bear in this region, and I think it patrols this sort of area. At least I'm warming up. Let's see whether or not... Oh, it's good enough to map in. Yeah, I know. It's a bit pointless and a waste of resources. But let's see if we can't investigate a little further, and hopefully the weather doesn't sock me in too fast. I should probably... How much water have I got? Oh, let's go and grab the firewood. Ah, turned out nice. And, yes, that nearly did me a damage there. Because it's getting cold. And in fact, it's getting cold enough that I don't want to risk. If I were to actually pick up this, I'd start getting hypothermia risks, which is not desirable. Oh, it's only midday too. Let's resume our general exploration. Although, I've already been up through this area, I just wasn't mapping it at the time. I was a little bit more concerned about getting up here safely.
My fingers feel numb.
Blob alert. You can see the blob through the trees there. I can't tell. Oh, it's a tree stump. I think it's a tree stump. This is the eternal problem. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that's a tree stump. With the field of view in this, you can actually see some things better at the edge of the screen than you can full on. You know, if I was cleverer, I could do a video. Blob or bear? Well, I see Old Man's beard. I don't know whether that's significant of anything, apart from Old Man's beard being present. And I'm about to start getting hypothermia risk. The other thing I'm kind of hoping to see is obviously the bear. And then depending on where it patrols, can I find a suitable spot to ambush it without getting myself chewed up? I don't like getting chewed up by bears. It makes for a significant emotional moment. I never know whether the crows flying over like that is them going home, or an indication of a forthcoming change in the weather. I need to mentally remind myself there's a wolf. Ah, yes, there's the bear. Look. That is not a blob. That is a bear. And you can tell because it's moving. So this is going to be interesting. I want to see where it goes. Mental note to self, I can see the bear from here. And he is, I tell you what, his range there, that makes it quite difficult to ambush him because it's so flat. And it looks like, and I'm speculating here, he's moving away so he doesn't. Excuse me, I now have to lean forward. Yeah, he's moving away from me. Times like this, a 4K monitor would be nice, except those get really expensive. So at a guess, that is the extent of his range. Maybe. Because he was sort of coming this way and then... Which is good to know, because possibly if I stick to going around here, I might avoid him. Yeah, you see what I mean? You can actually, because of the field of view, you can actually see it better at the edge. Once again, hinterland, can we please have a telescope or binoculars in the game? And a compass. Oh no, the compass wouldn't work because of the whole geomagnetic thing. So, and to be honest with you, he's, I won't say too far away for easy harvesting. I mean, getting out there, killing it, harvesting it, and bringing it all back. You know what? Seeing as it's along the road, that might actually be quite doable. The major problem would be killing him without getting yourself mauled. Might be worth a try. All right. At least I know where it is now. Because I didn't know whether it came up here. And now the answer appears to be no, he doesn't. And I think he's heading towards final approach. And I think final approach is there? Yes, I think it is. Not sure. Now that I'm looking at the map, where am I? I am about there, I think. The road's done a sort of turn. I am, yes, I think that's, yeah, that's final approach. I can just see the lake now. And that is where it nearly snuck up on me once. But you can see the only place that I can see in this region where you might be able... Now, you could probably take a chance at a long shot. I've done that with bear once before. It was way off in the distance. I took a shot and the bear did die eventually. I mean, that's far too far. I would have to go out, find a spot where I didn't think the bear could get to me, and lure it in, or go all the way down there. At which point I've basically left this region. But I have learned something important today. When I leave here, head off around, which makes a sort of sense because I've been out there. Yeah, and there's the airfield proper over there. Looks like it's not that far away. That takes about at least a day to get there. And if you're doing that kind of trip in this particular region, you're almost certainly going to get yourself in a blizzard. Which is why you want your 17 sticks and 5 pieces of cloth on you when you're doing that kind of trip. Ooh, I have a suspicion I probably shouldn't be doing this. Yeah, I can't get up. Can I get back? Yes. If there is one thing to be genuinely concerned about in this game, and it's happened to me one location, nearly two. There's a few places it's actually possible to get quite stuck. You can get into a place and you can't get out. It was so bad at one point, I literally had to escape the game, restart, well not restart, reload my last save, which took me back, I mean, not damagingly, but I did that twice, trying to get from the ravine. No, I wanted to get from the upper section of Bleak Inlet to the lower section. And you're supposed to climb down. There is a sort of way of, used to be a way of getting through, but they removed that. But that little section, yeah, you can get stuck. I think you can actually die there. And of course, technically speaking, in this game, you have permadeath. You can cheat. It does allow you to do that, but that kind of goes against the whole spirit of the game. I think there's a general understanding that this is a permadeath game. In other words, I die during this run, that's it. Don't reload, don't... No. No, you restart. Like Minecraft Hardcore. Actually, that's an interesting comparison. Is Minecraft Hardcore easier or more difficult than the Long Dark? It's probably in some ways easier, in some ways probably harder. Hang on a second, you're kidding me. I can see the bear from here, look. Oh, now, that is interesting, because it means, yes, yes, in fact, I can tell that is indeed Last Approach. It is right near the helicopter. I don't know if you can see, but that object he's passing in front of right now is the crashed helicopter, and that is a very useful place. When I was traveling to this region from the airfield, that's where I stopped and was able to hunt because there's game out there. And in fact, I stopped there and what was it, at least one night, and I can't remember whether it was two. You can even, yeah, because you've got wood nearby, you can light a fire inside the helicopter so you're warm. There's a cot inside the helicopter you can sleep on. This is the first time I've actually had to sit and watch to see where a predator like that goes, because they do have a huge range in game terms. And I'd be curious to see if it does in fact go into the woods. I'd like to know where its den is. I mean, if I were to guess, I'd say its den is either here or maybe there. But it could be in this area. Yeah, well, I don't know that I'm going to wait that long. No. I don't know if the dongs are being filtered out. Nope, they're not. Yeah, that's my clock on the laptop over there. reminding me that it's 7 o'clock in the morning. This isn't a waste of time, by the way, or me trying to fill in the last 10 minutes of the stream. I was genuinely concerned about where that animal was and where it patrols. And now I've got a better idea, which is always worthwhile. So we know it comes around here and goes across there, and now it's heading back. Doesn't appear to come up into this region. This is the point at which you would say, could you please hurry up and run? Was it the last time I hunted the bear, Danny? Where I shot it and then, because it was so cold, took refuge in the float plane, and rather disturbingly / amusingly, the bear went galloping past the window. It's a good job I hadn't decided to go back outside at that point. Yeah, okay. I still wouldn't want to take a shot at it anywhere in that region, except from the final approach. Because if you step in through the door of an object like final approach, the bear won't see you. Strangely, you can literally be outside a doorway, like a fishing hut, or fence, even, or at least some fences. And if you're a few feet further forwards, the bear can see you, or wolves. But if you step back, they can't, but you can still shoot them. Which means, places like fishing huts and gates, very useful places to shoot dangerous animals from. It even works with wolves as well. Ah, he does seem to be heading into the wooded region over there. Perhaps, Danny, I could sneak up on it while it's asleep and snoring, like you did. I really do want to know where its den is. Oh well, while I'm doing that, let's harvest my arrowhead. I think I only broke the one arrow, didn't I? Why am I carrying 2 magnifying glasses? Yep. Definitely looks like he's heading... Well, yes, definitely looks like he's heading into the woods. And the award for the most obvious statement of a live stream goes to Shards of Insanity. Oh, I'm out of food. It's not a huge problem. I have some just in the backpack. Actually, do you know what? Where he's going is good to know, because if I don't have eyes on it, out here, then the likelihood is it is in the woods. In those lovely dark and deep woods where I have promises to keep, and I forget the author. And I've actually recorded myself reciting that poem, and I can't remember the author. I have found in life that sometimes the important thing is not immediately knowing what it is you need to know, but knowing where to look it up. I suppose that's a very modern thing, isn't it? Because it's much easier these days with the internet and Google and Bing and this kind of thing to indulge your poor memory. And he is thoroughly into the woods at this point. Okay, definitely gonna have to watch myself in that region. Right, given the time of day, I think what I'm going to do is I was going to sleep through the night, but I've made it for 2 hours. And, oh, you know what? I ought to allow a couple of minutes for the intro. So, and actually, it occurs to me, if there was an aurora, this would be a good time for me to record it. So, I wonder, would you be... I would not push you through that. Me sitting doing nothing for as long as it takes me not to get hypothermia, just recording the aurora. And I think I can get rid of the heads-up display too, can't I? That's the kind of thing I really should not be doing during a live stream, I feel. So, because I actually have to consider doing that, what... Yes, yeah, I did. Sunday I did 2 3-hour live streams. I did Wintermute in the morning, I did Warframe at night. Yesterday I did a 2-hour 45-minute Warframe live stream. And I've done a few 3-hour live streams because I was feeling awake and my brain was working. So yes, but for the 200 subscriber special, yeah, I did do 2 of those on Sunday. I can't remember what my longest live stream is. I think it's 3 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. Unfortunately, my brain does tend to start falling apart somewhere around the 2-hour 45-minute. Sometimes, depending on what I'm doing, I suppose. I would far rather do 3 2-hour live streams than 2 3-hour live streams. And if anybody's ever expected me to do a 6-hour live stream, a marathon, yeah, I don't know that that's going to happen. Unless I find something completely banal to do and people want just to get together and chat. But anyway. Well, they're archived. You can go watch them. And they're still around. In fact, yes. The 200, the Warframe 200 subscriber special got a whole 50 views, which is not very good performance, to be honest, for me, but still. Right. I will bring this to an end, I think. So, at least I can do is stand out on the porch, the deck, balcony, whatever you want to call it. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Thanks for being with me for the last couple of hours. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you enjoyed it and you wish to see more, please leave a subscribe. I will be streaming again this evening, probably around 7 p.m. British Summer Time. But if you are subscribed, you'll get a notification, assuming YouTube works, which it didn't entirely yesterday, which was slightly disturbing. I hope you all have a good day. Be excellent to each other. Be kind to children and animals. And I will see you next time.